6 weeks after her initial contact with law enforcement, Margaret got the call. The results came back positive. One of the two Jane Does found on Mansfield's property was, without question, Teresa. While her sister was glad Teresa's remains were finally uncovered, this revelation was bittersweet, as both their parents died without ever knowing what happened to her. Mansfield's last unknown victim remains unidentified to this day. Janet Yeary. In 2004, 51-year-old Janet Yeary lived in Kokomo, Indiana, and had worked as a lab manager for CMB Optical One for the past 16 years. She loved being outdoors, listening to music, and spending time with her granddaughter. On Wednesday, November 24, 2004, she began preparation for Thanksgiving dinner. That night, her daughter, Carly Martin, who lived across the street from her, spoke to Janet on the phone, and they discussed plans for their early dinner the following day. Dinner time came and went, though Janet never showed up. Carly repeatedly called her mother to see where she was, but got no answer. The following day, when she still hadn't heard from Janet, she walked across the street to check on her. Carly grew even more concerned when she realized that the garage door was left open, and when she entered the home, she discovered that her mother had begun cooking that day but never finished, and the turkey was even still in the oven. She ended up finding her mother dead after being beaten and stabbed. There was no sign of forced entry into the home, so police theorized that, while Janet did not know her killer, she had willingly let them into her home for some reason. According to witnesses, a white vehicle was seen speeding away from the area on the night that Janet was killed. Investigators immediately suspected a man named Danny Case, who was allegedly dropped off in Janet's neighborhood the night before Thanksgiving and went door to door looking for a ride home. At the time of the murder, Case was wanted in another county for a charge of attempted murder. He was arrested for this charge at the Indianapolis International Airport 2 months later, but he committed suicide in the airport holding cell before police could get any information from him. Police looked through some of the items that Case had with him and discovered that there was blood on many of them, but there wasn't enough to get a good DNA sample. While police still believed that Case was the perpetrator, Janet's daughter, Carly, wasn't convinced. However, there wasn't enough evidence to definitively link him, and no new leads came in, so the case went cold for nearly 2 decades. The next break came when a friend of Case told police that he had once confessed the murder to him. Allegedly, Case told him that he had killed a woman who lived on the same street that Janet did. Apparently, Case had knocked on Janet's door to ask about borrowing her phone to call for a ride home. According to this friend, Case had also confessed to killing an elderly man in a nearby county. Once they learned this, police went and spoke to Janet's surviving family. They were told about Case's friend's confession and allowed police to close Janet's case with exceptional clearance since the suspect was deceased. Pamela Graddick. On August 14, 2012, 26-year-old teacher's assistant Pamela Graddick was reported missing by her sister. She was last seen alive on Saturday, August 11, 2012, when surveillance footage caught her walking back to her apartment in the Bronx after a night out with friends. 11 days later, police still didn't have any leads, so Pamela's sister posted a plea on Facebook for any information on Pamela's whereabouts, but nothing new came from this.